Hi guys, your favorite natural disaster is back and better than ever. So recently I've been getting a lot more comments asking me how I animate my videos, so I thought why not give you guys a little behind the scenes look as to what actually happens in order to make the videos you end up seeing, but with a twist. This company called GAOMON reached out to me and asked if I wanted to review one of their tablets, and I was quick to jump on that deal. So this entire video was done on said tablet, from the finished drawings to even my sprite on the screen right now. The model they sent me was the GAOMON S630, and it came with some pretty cool things. Why did you do that? Freaking... We're professional here. Okay. That's good. Okay. Okay, first impressions. I thought the tablet was so cute. I mean, it's small enough to be portable, and it's got these cute little ships and planets on it. The pen it came with has a nice weight to it, and it wasn't awkward to use at all when I first started drawing. However, at first I was kind of disappointed that it didn't come with an art glove, but it turns out you don't really need one, which was a huge difference from the tablet that I regularly use. However, there was one glaring con for me. It doesn't have a stand or support of any kind. It works fine if you can draw on a flat surface, but for the majority of this project I had the darn thing in my lap, which wrecked my shoulder and posture. Now, I was asked by GAOMON to demonstrate how it fares in Osu, you know, the rhythm game. And if any of you have seen me play Friday Night Funkin', you'd know that I'm absolute hot garbage at rhythm games, but I decided to give it a shot and... It went as well as I expected it to go. The pen, however, was very responsive and it was easy to track, so if I had ever played Osu before recording this, it would probably work wonders, but I just haven't, so. Okay, enough Osu, onto the process of the actual video. The first part of any video making process is coming up with an idea. I knew that I wasn't going to be doing one of my normal videos on this thing, since those take like a month to do on my normal tablet, and I had like 2 weeks to get this video out, so not happening. I was watching a lot of old MCYT animation memes at the time, so I thought the fashion meme would be simple enough. I started by planning out the character's rough proportions and trying to settle on poses that I thought would fit the character in my drawing program. And for those who keep asking, the drawing program I use is Autodesk Sketchbook. For all the marbles one and done, it has always been Autodesk Sketchbook, so you can stop asking me now. Now that we're into the drawing process, I should probably say how using the actual tablet was. To be honest, it was a struggle. Now, normally, the tablet that I'd be using for video making is a Cintiq 13 screen tablet, which is vastly different than the GAOMON S630, given that the GAOMON is not a screen tablet. I've never used this kind of tablet before, so the entire time I was fighting with myself for line accuracy and smoothness. My sense of coordination was thrown off and made it difficult to use, however, this is kind of normal. It was a big change from my big screen tablet to the GAOMON model, but eventually I got the hang of it. Sort of. After I figured out the rough pose, I go in and design their outfits as well as making them look more like their character they're supposed to be. Making outfits based on the character is actually surprisingly difficult. I did a spot of research trying to see looks based on the character's vibe and personality, as well as other elements from my own design process. Some inspiration came quickly, like Tommy's jacket or Tubbo's vest, but others were more difficult to come to a conclusion on. Ron Boo was one of those characters who gave me a run for my money. I was torn between a comfortable and formal look for him and almost put him in a suit vest, but ultimately decided against it in favor of a more casual design. There was actually only one other character that gave me more trouble than Ron Boo, and it was Fundy. Most of the clothing inspiration came from the fact that I gave him a kitsune mask in place of a more animal-leaning design like most Fundy artists do. Kitsune masks are of Japanese origin, so I decided to start there. A lot of the modern fashion I looked up for Japanese men was very reminiscent of older Japanese culture, like the happi, which is typically only worn during festivals, and the hakama, which are those long flowy pants you see in Japanese history. In the more modern fashion that I saw in my research, the happi was still used along with long pants or skirts, so I figure why not put Fundy in a skirt to reflect the Japanese fashion trends? It's more of like a half skirt that you can put shorts on or something, but it's still a skirt nonetheless. I'd actually never drawn Foolish before this, which is surprising considering that he's one of my favorite streamers at the moment, so most of his design is kind of on the spot. I gave him an undercut because I wasn't sure if I wanted him to have hair or not due to the whole, totem thing, but I liked it so I ended up keeping it. I also gave him this massive cowlick to look like a shark fin and his signature green eyes. And yes, I made him jacked, okay? You would do it too! You would! Whatever. This is a personal attack, okay? Never mind. Next is the lining phase. This is where the tablet switch really took a toll on me. I tried for literal hours to get the lines I wanted, and with 8 characters to do, it was a daunting task. It took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours just for one character's line work, something that would normally take me only 20 to 40 minutes to do. This is still due to me not being used to the tablet, since usually I only get used to a product about a week or 2 into using it. Again, this tablet isn't bad, it all just comes down to personal preference. final stage of these drawings is coloring and shading. Now, my shading is pretty odd and time-consuming, and as I've said prior, I had 2 weeks to work on this, so cell shading it is! Deciding on colors has never really been an issue for me until I met Dream and Rambo. Every single time, without fail, they always end up looking like Shaggy, and it makes me want to cry. But other than that, coloring and shading went pretty smoothly. I tried a different approach to shading this time with lower opacity, shadows, and more soft blushing on the face. This kind of shading was actually pretty relaxing and helped me take a step back from all the work I'd been doing. After all the full drawings had been completed, I took them into Premiere and started the editing process, and this is where I had a bit of a dilemma. You see, Phil's veil was transparent and I wanted to be able to see through it, but the layers were already merged and I was silently freaking out about how I was gonna be able to make that happen, until I realized you could just make the background invisible in Sketchbook. In my 7 years of using this stupid program, I just found out you could make the background invisible. I am so dumb. Whatever, it's fine.
To what new horizons can we look now? Where are tomorrow's opportunities?
After that, I started to work on the last thing of the video, the small sprites at the bottom of the screen. In this specific meme, the sprites usually switch between 2 drawings, so each character gets 2 sprites in their original SMP outfits just to make them more recognizable as a whole.
new horizons can we look now? Where are tomorrow's opportunities? The frontiers of the future are not on any map. But now, what's ahead of us?
I had a hard time deciding on the coloring method of these characters though. I wanted them to look like little pencil or crayon drawings to help the fully rendered drawings stand out more, but the flat colors also looked good. In the end I went with the chalky coloring instead, because it was what I wanted in the first place. All that was left was to finish the line art and coloring, as well as exporting the sprites into my editor. And after many hours of editing, here is the final result. My final thoughts on the GAOMON tablet are mostly positive, aside from the support issue I mentioned earlier, and was such a cool experience to work with GAOMON on this. Not to mention, this tablet is arguably less than most tablets I've seen out in the world, and is pretty good for beginners if you're starting digital art. If you want to cop this tablet for yourself, I put a link in the description that'll take you right to their website. However, as much as I can praise the tablet, I don't think I'll be switching to it anytime soon. Who can I give this to then? You want this?